Hello everybody out there in the internet world, comic book community and YouTube community. I'm Chris. Man sitting next to me here is Mike.
Hey guys.
And for 3.5 years, this is the Dark Avenger comic book review show. And we are very close to our, I say we now because Mike has joined me, usually it was me, but the show is reaching its almost 150th episode. We are 4 episodes away. This is episode 146. You're going to notice some new changes on the videos very, very soon as far as the thumbnails. I really appreciate that from YouTube. Thank you guys at YouTube. But anyway, beside the point, 146 episodes.
Yeah, it's been pretty long road.
There's gonna be something medium big for the 150th. Hopefully, the 150th. It'll be 4 weeks from now. I'll be back. Money will be back at a normal flow. So we'll see what we'll be doing.
And it'll be halfway point to 200 episodes.
Yeah, and for the first time ever in 2 months, we are officially back on time.
Yep.
It's officially, this video is actually going up when it's supposed to go up. So guys, I had such a long day. My back is gone. I hurt my back this morning really bad. I thought I was actually going to cancel the review one more day and risk it being a day late just because of what happened with my back. But I decided, I forced myself to take care of it all. I forced it to get better all day today just to make sure that you guys have this comic review on time, because I've been promising everybody for weeks that I was going to get back on track. So for you guys, I'm going to push through it. I got a little bit of pain here, but it's okay. I'll be able to handle holding a comic book.
Well, also, you know, with me a little bit with Punisher X final episode.
Yeah, Mike actually started, he's still doing that, but mothering through this for you guys. So for you guys, welcome to the 146th episode of this Dark Avenger comic book review. The books we are discussing this week came out the 3rd week of August 15th. Thank you. He looks at the calendar before me. 2012. And first off, for those of you who are wondering, Voltron issue 7, this is going to make or break the series for me. Here's my judgment. I enjoyed this book enough that I'm going to continue it. However, I'm not enjoying year 1 enough to keep that, so I will be dropping year 1 and holding on to the actual Voltron comic book. However, I do have a few things that I would, nitpicking of course. Voltron looks amazing, of course. The Voltron machine itself looks really great. Cover is beautiful also, by the way. My only annoyance at times was the shoddy artwork a little bit. I mean, it looks like this guy has a...
Yeah, I think.
I mean, sometimes it was really good. Just certain panels just were, yeah.
Well, I could agree about the artwork. Super amazing. Just wow.
Yeah, when it comes to Voltron, it's great. It's just the figures. Some of them are a little.
Yeah, like and the chin kind of.
Another example would be the.
Looks like a monkey chin kind of thing.
What is it with you and monkeys lately?
What? It's a monkey.
So anyway, Zarkon is dead. Lothor is trying to say, you know, he's changed his ways and, he's trying to say, I want to work with you guys now. I'm not like my father. Of course, Keith is not believing any of that, and I'm on his side. I don't believe Lothor for a second. Then it jumps back and forth from the present, which is the Voltron Force fighting this machine here. And then it goes into the past where it's all about Lothor changing his ways and Keith not believing that. And then it turns out on the moon there's like these explosives. And in the end the moon actually explodes with Voltron on it. To be continued. I'm sorry. Seeing that alone, it entices me to come back. You see guys, in this case the story arc was good enough to ignore the certain aspects of bad artwork here. And not bad artwork, just, you know, sketchy artwork here and there. And the ending leaves it well enough for me to want to say I want to see what happens next. So Voltron is actually going to be sticking around on my reviews for a bit longer. I enjoyed it enough. For those of you that like Voltron, it's something new. It's not exactly something from the animated series, that's for sure. The anime was very different from this, but it was pretty good. For those of you who are interested in looking it up, you can check it out. Dynamite is also bringing out the Shadow, the Spider, I'm not. Zorro, Lord of the Jungle. There's a mini-series that's going to be happening called, I believe it's called Capes, which involves the Shadow, the Spider, and not. Geez, I was collecting all three at the time too. The Shadow, the Spider, and
Lords of the Jungle.
no. Wow, I'm gonna hit my. I think it was Zorro. Maybe it was Zorro. I don't remember, but it was Mass, and it looks really good. But I won't be picking it up. Oh no, the Green Hornet.
Yeah, the Green Hornet. Right.
So for those of you that are interested, you can go and check that out. Dynamite. They're gonna be really. I think the miniseries starts in September, but it's pretty good. Up to you guys. Going into Image, we have 2 books. First is Saga, Chapter 6. Really good way to end the first story arc. Marco and Alana finally get off, or Alana, A-L-A-N-A, Alana. Get off the planet finally. The, oh god, why do I forget this computer guy's name? It's so dang.
He's CPU.
Artwork is pretty good though. This is,
they still have heads of TV screens.
Prince Robot the Fourth. How could I forget a name like Prince Robot the Fourth?
I had to laugh at that. I'm sorry. That was just wow.
The artwork, of course, is beautiful. So they get off the planet, and to get on the spaceship, Marco made this. You have to make a sacrifice to get into the spaceship, and the spaceship, for those of you that didn't look at the preview at all, is this. It's a big wooden tree-like spaceship. The spaceship is made of wood. But you have to make a sacrifice, so he destroys his sword, as seen here, in order to get on the ship. So, the ship doesn't have a destination, but it takes suggestions from people that treat it well. And Alana says she wants to go to Quietus for the baby, because she wants the baby to grow up with a good education. While on the spaceship, Prince Robot the Fourth actually is trying to figure out where they're going to go next, and he also comes across the planet's name. And at the end of the book, there is an attack, and the only reason I'm going to spoil this, guys, is because Chapter 7 of Saga is not going to be coming out next month. They're taking a break. The next chapter for Saga is coming out in October. So even though it says here to be continued, it turns out that the first chapter is officially done.
How come some comic books are skipping the month of September going into October?
It's not skipping.
No, I'm just saying.
They're giving the artist a break, and then they're going to go into the next chapter.
No, because I'm just saying, I hope they're not copying with DC's number 0.
No, they're taking a little bit of a break.
Okay, it was just...
So that everything looks perfect. They want to make sure this book stays really well. Saga's a really good book. Image has a lot of number 1s. They're still going to be releasing well up until the end of this year. For those of you who are wondering, you can go over to Dark Avenger Inc. and check out our live cast where we were talking about the previews. When Mike Spider Slayer was going down the previews, there were a lot of number 1s coming out of Image still. So there's a lot of books that look interesting that will be coming out of Image soon, and there are coming out as we speak from Image. But anyway, the ending of the book, because Marcos broke his sword, he forgot that breaking the sword would cause something, and it turns out in the end we get to see the first time ever Marcos' parents. And it's to be continued from there. So for those of you who didn't want to see the spoilers, I do hope you skipped over that part. I always hold the comics up like this, long enough for you guys to know when I'm done talking about a comic. So if you ever don't want to hear a spoiler about a comic, when you see me take the comic and put it down like this, that's when I finish, and you can continue the video. If you didn't, let's say you didn't read Saga, however you read Voltron already. Let's pretend you read both. And you didn't read Saga, you read Voltron, you want to see what I said. You saw what I said about Voltron, and you didn't want to hear what I said about Saga. When you see the book go flat down as you're fast forwarding the video, that's when you know I finished talking about Saga, and you can continue on. And if the next book I'm going to review is The Walking Dead 101. If you read 101 of The Walking Dead and you want to hear my opinion, you continue watching again. Or if you want to fast forward through that until... But do come back when you're done reading the comic books and see what I have to say, because I do have a lot to say about all the books, and I take the time out to A, form an opinion about the book, and B, I take a lot of time out to read all my books so that this way you guys can hear my opinion and determine whether A, you want the book, or just to see what a person who's reading the book's opinion is. So I take a lot of time out, guys. So If you want to skip over one of the books I review because you didn't read it yet, great, but definitely come back and see what I had to say about the book also. So you can, maybe if you're 50-50 on the book, you want to see what somebody else says. Maybe I'll love a book and I'll point something out that you didn't catch on to right away, or you were iffy about, but hearing somebody else talk about it. Because a lot of times when I'm 50-50 on a book, I watch other people's reviews, like Mike's Comic Book Corner is his channel's reviews, or I watch Pete's Basement. There's another place called Comic Nation on Karim TV. There are a lot of comic reviewers out there. There's Sleepy Reader 666. I don't want to give too many shout outs because then people are going to get mad at me for leaving them out. There's also the Captain Cummings, Kirsten Bromstar, Dawkins Howlett. There's a lot of people that I watch there. I'm a silent viewer. I'm a very silent viewer. So when I really good, I definitely say check it out. So when I watch videos, usually, especially when it's a book I'm 50-50 on, I watch to see what other people have to say, and sometimes I choose to keep the book an extra month because of what somebody has to say, or if somebody feels the same way I do, then I start to actually consider not picking up the book the following month. So always come back, because you never know, sometimes one person's opinion, if you both agree on something, maybe you're right about dropping or keeping a book. Maybe you'll decide to keep a book, which is even better. The Walking Dead 101, it was such a fast read. I agree with what a lot of people said about this book. You know, I was so used to the format with the 100, the oversized issue 100, that reading this book just flew by. It takes place right after 100, where by now, if you guys don't know, you really should, you should know by now. It takes up right after Deegan leaves and Glenn is murdered. They end up going to the hilltop, and Maggie ends up staying with her daughter. And somebody from the hilltop, I believe I think his name is Jesus. I don't, or Jesus. Jesus.
I think Jesus. Yeah.
I think he joins them, or whoever he is. I don't know his name. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a couple issues behind. I believe it's Jesus. He joins them. And Rick promises Maggie before he leaves that he's going to deal with Deegan, while back where the rest of the group is, it turns out that I can't remember the name for the life of me, the Saviors attacked, but Adrian held the fort. They ran off, and they took a prisoner.
That is one creepy prisoner.
So I'm looking forward to see what happens next. So Adria took a prisoner, and we'll see how the story continues on. I'm enjoying it. At least there's a fair amount of action instead of we're going to make this work now. This is a lot better than... But then again, I guess every story has its hit or miss. I would definitely say check out Walking Dead. However, the issues sell out like crazy. There's a lot of second printings of issue 97, 8, and 99. And issue 100 is all over the place with several different covers. Pick up any one. If you only have one cover, even if you hate it, who cares? Buy it. The story was good, and so is this issue. But definitely start at issue 97, because this is part 5, I believe. So 98, 99, 98, 99, 200, and
yeah, that's
part 4. This is part 4. Part 5 is next. Really good. I would highly recommend checking out the Walking Dead series. Again, I actually deterred from it. I walked away from it for a bit. I feel bad I walked away from it now, because it actually did pick up. I had faith in it. But then when money got tight and I started getting into more, the whole New 52 thing happened, I decided to drop it. You know, when they announced it way back when, I decided to drop it to make room, and I feel bad I did that now. Which goes to show you guys, once again, never determine an entire comic series from one story arc. Always go into the second one, even if it's just the first 2 issues, to see about it before you drop something. Before Watchmen, number 1 of Rorschach, my favorite character in the Watchmen. I'm sure everybody's favorite default character from the Watchmen. He's one of my 2 favorites. I do also like Night Owl. Rorschach, this takes place before the Watchmen story, obviously. Rorschach is looking for scum. That's what he does. He likes to clear the streets of scum. The artwork is really fantastic in this book. The artist is I believe Lee's. It's on the.
Is it in the front comic book?
Yeah, but I wanted to get it just right. I want to make sure I picked it just right. Here we go.
Oh.
Lee, I was right. Lee Bermejo. He's really good. So Rorschach wants to know where the scum is that's releasing all the drugs on the streets, and we get a little bit of insight on his life also, where he hates New York. He hates working in New York. He hates living there, but he still is there, obviously. So he finds out where they're hiding in the sewers, and he attacks, but the problem is he gets overpowered. This reminded me a lot, this scene where Rorschach kind of got overpowered by the thugs. Actually, it reminded me a lot of in the Watchmen book where Rorschach got overrun by the police officers. So this kind of looks like a recycled scene. However, it's not the police officers. It's it's a gang. So he gets the snot beaten out of him, so to speak, and they get away, and they basically say now they own New York City, and Rorschach hobbles his way in his civilian clothes to a coffee shop, and he claims he was mugged, of course, and he's like, the muggers made a mistake, and the woman said, meaning you didn't have anything on you? He said, no, meaning I'm not dead. To be continued.
Wow.
So I feel bad for the muggers and the guys in the next part. It's going to be really good. This series looks like it's going to be really, really good. I did enjoy it. I did run through this book, though, because this was one of the last books I had to read. So I'm probably going to end up going back and rereading it again. But I would definitely say to check out Rorschach, issue 1. I enjoyed it. So far, as I said, the only book I've dropped from before Watchmen is Ozymandias. And that's just because the story is not interesting me and the artwork is even worse. So, Nightwing issue 12. Nightwing versus Paragon. That's the entire point of this book. You find out everything in this issue about the brothers that were killed, how Nightwing was framed, how Paragon framed. It turns out, here's a spoiler for those of you who are reading Nightwing, Paragon is the one that framed Nightwing. So that it wasn't the detective. He framed Nightwing because the people that were working with him, the brothers, he saved them. For reference, you can go to issue number 2 of Nightwing, the reboot from DC's New 52. And when Nightwing saved them, they decided they were wrong, so they changed their minds about going after the costume vigilantes in Gotham. So Paragon killed them to make them an example and framed Nightwing, so that this way the people that were following him would believe. And I'll leave the ending for you guys to check out. This story does end in this issue. We do find out a little bit more about Dick and the amusement mile. He actually is willing to reach into his trust fund to pay for this whole thing to happen. He goes to apologize to Sonia Branch because he kind of snapped at her in the last issue, saying, did you not approve me because it was your father that killed my family? And it was kind of a low blow. In this issue, at the end, she actually turned out, here's another spoiler, that she was lying. She just didn't want to work with Dick. And in the end, basically, Dick says, well, if your board approved it, then we're stuck together anyway then. And that's basically where they leave you off. Issue 0 is being announced as the origin of Dick Grayson, and Batman's first defeat.
Wow, that's going to be interesting.
That's going to be a very interesting book to read. I'm looking forward to Nightwing issue 0. I'm looking forward to it even more because they ended this story arc first. So this way, when we come back with issue 13 in October, it'll be a new story. Won't have to worry about having a month delay it or anything like that.
Wait, now for issue 0s, are they going to be like weekly, like all the comics that I've read, like they come out 1 week, or is it?
No, they're going to do it, basically when this is released, instead of issue 13 coming out next month, it'll be issue 0.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying like I'm reading Justice League Dark and Green now, do they come out the same week?
No, they're going to come out the weeks they usually come out.
Oh, okay, because I was wondering if they're going to do 1 week or...
I would definitely say check out Nightwing. I'm really enjoying Nightwing. I decided against Batman and Robin for right now because I looked up the next story arc, guys, and the next story arc doesn't really look interesting to me, so I'm going to let other people read it first. And by what they say, I'll determine whether I want to jump back into Batman and Robin then. Even if I miss out on the issue 0, it's not a big deal. So I'm going to wait probably till the beginning of next year to determine whether I'm going to go back to Batman and Robin or not. As I said, money is tight as is already, so I have to nitpick as much as possible right now. Right now, not always. Green Lantern Corps, issue 12. What happens in this book is amazing, and it was a very shocking book. And for those of you that didn't read this yet, do not listen to what I'm about to say. Fast forward through this until I get to Green Lantern, because there's going to be spoilers in this, and I don't want to ruin it for you guys. But anyway, getting into the book now, spoilers are on. Guy Gardner and John Stewart reach out to Val. What's his name? Val. They have such interesting names, I swear. It's so hard to come up with the name when you need it. Varix, one of the Alpha Lanterns. He's trying to. Guy Gardner's trying to explain you're going about this all wrong. You guys are oh God, what's the word I'm looking for? When power, abusing your power. You know, you're taking this to a whole other level. You guys are drunk with power. You're wrong. And Varix finally sees that Guy Gardner is right, and he releases John Stewart and himself, and John Stewart and Guy Gardner go after the Alpha Lanterns, one by one. And in the end, Varix actually turns on the Alpha Lanterns and destroys them all. They're all gone, except for himself, and then he commits... Well, I won't say what he does to himself. But in the end, there's one little tidbit on this page where Guy Gardner and John Stewart are talking, and then out of nowhere the ring, or there's something that passes through the rings, and it says, "Let me out," and we don't know what it's about, and it says, things only get worse, see Green Lantern Annual #1 on sale in 2 weeks. There's 2 advertisements for Green Lantern Annual #1 in this book, as well as in Green Lantern issue 12, which we'll get into next. But we'll find out what the "Let Me Out" means in the annual in 2 weeks then. So there will be something continuing the story arc a bit, or like adding to the story while the issue 0s are coming out.
And something to look forward to as well.
So here's your big spoiler, guys. The Guardians are talking about the Alpha Lanterns. They're happy about what happened to the Alpha Lanterns and how the Green Lanterns how the Alpha Lanterns were defeated by the Green Lanterns, because the Guardians were planning to do it anyway, and basically they destroy all of the rings for the Alpha Lanterns, meaning there are no longer Alpha Lanterns, no more, they're talking about the Third Army again. Every book with Green Lantern now, all you hear is, and once the Third Army mobilizes, in this book they say, neither will, they say the rings of the Alpha Lanterns will never find another hand. So the Alpha Lanterns are gone forever. And once the Third Army is mobilized, neither will the rings of the rest of the Green Lantern Corps. So in other words, once the Third Army comes up, they're going to destroy all the Green Lanterns. And there will be no Green Lantern Corps. The Alpha Lanterns are gone already. And it's just a matter of time before they destroy every single Lantern Corps. So basically, these are the bad guys. And I hate these guys. I mean... Throughout,
the Guardians, we always knew they were bad guys.
No, I mean they were
like from the beginning, the way that they were.
Yeah, the way things were after the whole during and after the whole Corona thing. Yeah,
I kind of knew in a year that there was going to be.
I was talking about this for about a year and a half, that the Guardians were going to do something, and it was going to be up to Hal Jordan and the rest of the Lanterns. Right. But there's rumor. So I would definitely say check this out. It was a big. And for those of you Green Lantern fans, very important issue and story arc in Green Lantern Corps.
And don't forget Green Lantern Annual #1 in 2 weeks.
Yes. Green Lantern 12, however, there is a rumor that Hal Jordan may be taken out of being a Green Lantern. It's going to go to that other guy. That Hal Jordan might either die or be taken out completely. They want to take him out of the equation.
The other guy.
No, it's going to be that the new Arabic Green Lantern that they're going to introduce in issue 0. This guy, if they're still advertising issue 0s.
I never saw him.
I don't know, but if they go in that route, if they go that route where Green Lantern is going to be about the guy that they're going to introduce in issue 0, once this Green Lantern story arc is done and Hal Jordan and Sinestro are gone, I'm probably going to end up letting the book go for a bit then.
That is not
the
right.
reason I picked up Green Lantern was because Hal Jordan was back. You know, they killed Hal Jordan. I got the entire story arc of the Green Lantern when Hal Jordan came back as a Green Lantern. I loved Green Lantern since Brightest Day. I didn't pick up Green Lantern #1 all the way through for a while. Then when Darkest Night was going to hit, I started reading Green Lantern, and I picked up the trade paperbacks, and I trade paperback my way backwards in time up to Green Lantern #1. And I fell in love with the series, and here I am today. But if Hal Jordan's going to leave, then
that's just wrong.
Then I'm probably going to end up dropping the series for a bit until Hal Jordan comes back again.
Well, that's New 52 for you.
Once again, spoilers, guys. Fast forward through it. The first tidbit was when Black Hand's reading through the Book of Black. It says here, Hal Jordan's not your enemy, and Black Hand's trying to figure out why. And even Sinestro, he's like, why would it say that? And Hal Jordan's like, I have no idea. And then basically they go after, Hal Jordan takes out the Black Hand temporarily. They plow through the, and Carol Ferris also is debating whether she's going to put back on the Star Sapphire ring. And basically Hal Jordan and Sinestro plow through all of the dead. Well, they're only puppets now. It's not like before when there are no other Black Lantern rings anymore. So basically Black Hand is the puppet master and they're the puppets. So with Black Hand out of commission temporarily, they're out of commission. Then once again, we get 2 pages of the Guardians where they're talking about how Hal Jordan's gone. They know everything that's going on throughout the entire universe right now. They're talking about how Hal Jordan's already taken out of the equation. Sinestro believes the Green Lantern ring chose him, so the Yellow Lantern Corps is gone. They talk about the Alpha Lanterns. They talk about Guy Gardner. They're putting him on a pedestal for now, so when he falls off the pedestal, he's going to fall from a high spot. John Stewart carries guilt about Mogo, so they're going to use that against him. Kyle Rayner, they don't know, they think is going to be used to get Gantha back, and Gantha said he's going to deal with Kyle Rayner, and they're on the world. We saw this in the teaser, in the preview. They now know where the Indigo Tribe is as well. So the Guardians are really setting up, something big's coming for Green Lantern, guys, really soon, and I'm looking forward to it. So Black Hand comes back, and the Undead go after Sinestro and Hal Jordan. The rest of the book is basically a fight. And then the ending, however, I'm not going to spoil until the next issue. I'll let you see it.
What?
Yeah. It all ends in 2 weeks in Green Lantern Annual #1. So we will find out what happens next in Green Lantern Annual #1. So everything's leading to Green Lantern Annual #1 coming out in 2 weeks. So we'll find out more then. When the annual comes out, I'll spoil the ending to this book. But for those of you that didn't read Green Lantern yet, it turns out, okay, that Hal Jordan is going to play a role possibly in a different Lantern Corps. A darker Lantern Corps. There's your little spoiler. You'll figure that out. And with that, we are done with this part. We are at 28 minutes, so come back, guys, for part 2 where it's going to be all Marvel again. Guys, comments, love them, leave them. Likes, dislikes, questions, love it all. And show YouTube you like this video by giving it a favorite. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. See you in the next part.